Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today we're having our morning coffee, one milk, one cream, one Splenda, as Margougou, playing as the red Sicilians, prepares to take on Hera, playing as the blue Lithuanians. Now while the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings, and try to go up to Feudal as fast as possible, let's take a look at the Civ matchup we'll be watching today. Now the Sicilians are a civilization whose strength flows and derives from their static defensive structures. Sicilians start the game. Take a look at the top left of your screen with 100 extra stone, which is fantastic because they do build town centers and castles twice as fast as normal. Now, starting in Feudal, Sicilians can build their unique unit, the Donjon. Think of this as a mini castle that, that gains HP and armor as the game progresses, and starting in Castle Age, shoots multiple arrows even when ungarrisoned. Now, donjons like the Bulgarian Krepos can also be used to train the unique unit of the Sicilians, the Sergeant. This is basically a middle-of-the-road medium infantry unit that is the only unique unit in the game that can be trained in Feudal Age. But by far, one of the coolest features of the Sicilians is the ability to call a First Crusade, where each town center spawns 7 sergeants up to a maximum of 5 town center. So basically 35 extra sergeants pop up and are ready to destroy the enemy. Now, like all infantry units, the sergeant is susceptible to archer fire, so to help protect it on the field of battle, Sicilian knights and cavaliers can actually be upgraded to get extra armor, and all Sicilian infantry, cavalry, and archer units do take 33% less bonus damage. Now, to feed their hungry population, Sicilians have the best farms in the game. When a farm upgrade is researched, it doubles the amount of food added to the farm. So in Imperial, a fully upgraded Sicilian farm comes with a massive 925 food per farm. Now, opposing our red Sicilian, we have Hera, playing as the blue Lithuanians. This is a civilization that focuses very much on its heavy cavalry units. Lithuanian knights, cavaliers, and paladins get a free attack boost for every single relic collected, up to a maximum of +4 for a maximum of 4 relics. Now, this feature also applies to their unique unit, the Lechai, a heavy cavalry unit whose attack actually ignores enemy armor, making it one of the deadliest units in the game. Now, to gather relics and get this free attack boost as fast as possible, Lithuanian monasteries do work 20% faster. Now, to support the Lithuanian armies on the field of battle, Lithuanian spearman line units and their skirmishers both move 10% faster and can be upgraded to get extra pierce armor. Now, to build a robust economy to support their military endeavors out on the map, such as this, Lithuanians do start the game with 150 extra food, and they can be much harder to raid because their town centers can get extra range, which makes them basically outrange most mangonels in the game. Now, while we've been talking about the civilizations, reviewing the features and characteristics, Hera here moving forward with 2 militias and a scout, getting a house. Okay, not the game-ending damage, not game-ending damage rather, but still pretty nice to see. Usually these militias don't really accomplish much except to distract an opponent, but these 2 and the scout do manage to get a house. A little bit of a wood loss here for Margougou, although he is building 2 replacement houses, so he is not at all supply blocked or housed, whatever term you prefer. Now, while Hera continues to poke and prod, it seems like he's microing more back home. These units are basically set. It looks like they're set to attack these structures, right? Let's take a look at the map. Let's see where Margougou spawned. Basically completely open to the east, completely open to the north. This is basically an open map for Margougou, although the one saving grace is that his wood line is not too far from his town center. Primary gold, I don't know whether to call this a forward-facing or a side. We'll call it a semi-forward-facing position. Stone, nice and tucked away to the north, although both of them pointing towards the enemy. Now we've got a militia stuck inside the house with these 3 villagers. They want blood, and they will get it. They will use their swashbuckling sword to get this militia after a Viper Gate manages to keep him locked inside. Hera, not to be outdone, also completely open to the west, completely open to the south. His northwest is a little bit easier to wall off, but his northeast and east is also completely open. Let's take a look at where his resources are. Primary stone very much in the forward position. Primary gold a little bit further behind. So Hera here with, I think, the better positioning in the base just because of this can be easily walled off. This gold is kind of set back, but this stone is very exposed. So overall, I would give Hera a very, very slight advantage when it comes to location of bases. But while I've been looking at hills and locations of resources, both players are basically up to feudal on the back of the exact same number of villagers. These two militias are not able to get anything done, so they turn around, they go home. Margougou has started scouting, now knows exactly where Hera is. Let's take a look at Hera's scouting, see what he's seen. Has he explored the extremities? Not really. He's taken a look at the wood lines, seen some of the back, has seen the primary gold. More and more, I'm convinced that, based on these games that I've been watching and casting, that you really, really need to know where your opponent's primary gold is so that you know exactly where to exert the pressure, because this primary gold is going to be, you know, it's primary for a reason. There's 7 patches compared to the other 4 or sometimes 5. But because there's basically almost double the amount of gold, this is likely where your opponent will strike out first with their pans and their pickaxes, and the gold rush will occur there. So more and more, I'm starting to be convinced that players that locate their opponent's gold earlier are at a bit of an advantage here. Although remember, gold mining doesn't usually start until the feudal age. Now we've got an archer here from Margougou. We'll be able to shoo away these militia, although they will die. More and more villagers coming off the production line to help defend the homeland here. Let's see what Margougou is doing. He had a couple of villagers garrisoned inside the house, making some farms. Okay, continuing to expand his economy at a decent clip, going up to 28 villagers. Now his archers are going to be roaming out on the map. Let's see. We'll follow along their journey. We'll call them Bill and Ted. See exactly what they can get done, where they're going, what they're seeing. Will they run into any animals on their trek out into the desert? This scout cavalry making sure that Bill and Ted have a warm welcome at Hera's base. No opposing units here to attack them. No silly things like skirmishers, for example. And now they're here. Their compadre has made his way here as well. Let's see how annoying they can be. I don't think they'll get any villager kills, but oh, scout cavalry was scouting, but nothing you can do if you your opponent doesn't reveal his or her units. Now the scout cavalry has to be careful. It was almost blocked there by the massive amount of skirmishers, and now retreats. And basically all aggression here by Margougou is over. He's running home. He needs to produce a few more villager units. Yeah, he's getting his own skirmishers, building more archers. He needs to make sure he can defend this. Does he have a stable to build? He's got a blacksmith. He's got an archery range. He's got a barracks. No stable just yet to start pumping out any kind of cavalry units to take out these skirmishers. Does manage to loop around. Does a U-turn, is now heading back with only 3 archers, though. Oh, God. And this is the classic conundrum of walling yourself off. It's fantastic in Dark Age. It's fantastic in early Feudal. But once the ranged units come, you've basically created a kill zone here for yourself. And Hera basically proving my, what is it, hypothesis, idea, theory, opinion, that primary gold is basically where you want to focus your attacks on. Lion coming in. We'll see what he can get done. This is a lot of skirmishers. We'll see. Okay, they turn tail and run. Maybe with the hill advantage, if he gets rid of this annoying line, I mean, he might be able to take this fight. But for now, Hera decides to completely disengage. This line not getting anything done. Margougou sending even the beasts of the field to attack his opponent while he continues to circle. Okay, 2 kills, but are they... Okay, the archers have managed to get 2 kills in the meantime. But look at Hera's army. This is basically countering every single thing that Margougou has on the field. Although, where's the spearmen? Why was that scout cavalry not attacking there for a second? Okay, you have to be careful with 11 skirmishers. You can't even engage into that with scout cav. Although now more and more coming out for our red Sicilian. Not a bad tech switch. I know it does cost a bunch more wood and a lot of food to pump these units out, but when your opponent is going mass skirmisher, I mean, scout cav is basically a good enough counter. What are you doing here, Mr. Tower? Where are Hera's villagers? Oh god, this is a lot of villagers to pull off the production line. This is basically 15% of his civilian population, and they are walking straight into a bunch of skirmishers. I mean, what do you do here if you're Margougou? You see a bunch of villagers here in the middle of the map. Although instead of bypassing your army and moving towards your base, they're for some reason attacking your units. Do you assume that they're building something in the direction of this army? Or do you assume this is a feint, a deke? Classic distraction here. Hera pivots south with his villagers, 5 again in total. No reinforcements. And we'll see if he can get this tower, but, oh god, 2 scouts, 2 archers, and a skirmisher popping out at the exact wrong time. Okay, Hera decides to relocate the tower. Now we'll place it here. Let's take a look at the resources, see who is planning on going up to castle. First, Hera, basically 40 food away from being able to go up to castle, but in come the scout cavalry, surrounded by villagers, by archers, by skirmisher. Hera has to respect this force, which, by the way, has stopped his watchtower at 60%. Hera decides to cancel it. Oh no, or did it get deleted? Destroyed. Oh god, a terrible loss here for Hera, who, although he loses that, although he is forced to retreat, is the first one going up to castle, and my god, is he doing it in a huge way. Take a look at his opponent's resources. Margougou nowhere close to going up to castle. He is going to be shocked when in a minute and 50 seconds his opponent hits castle. Although, take a look at these farms. Again, Sicilian farms, the best in the game. Donjon now being placed. We'll see if we get lucky enough to see any sergeants. For now, though, Margougou, okay, finally starting to bank some food, but right as I say that, decides to invest in upgrades. Hera here playing fantastic mind games, putting on a lot of pressure with a lot of feudal age units. He is literally 55 in-game seconds away from castle age, and we'll see what the hell Margougou does once he does hit castle. Again, he is not banking any food. Again, scouts are very food intensive. Brilliant play here by Hera. I don't know if he went heavy skirmishers because he saw archers, or I don't know if he went heavy skirmishers to draw out scout cavalry, which again, very food intensive, which again, delay your ability to go up to castle. And let's see what Margougou does now that Hera's just reached castle. Will he cancel these scout cavalry? Let's take a look. He is heading home ASAP. You cannot leave your base undefended here. These are going to start getting upgraded, attacked, and range is going to be a pain in the ass. 440 food, though, for our red Sicilian, slowly climbing his way. Okay, a bit of hesitation from him, but now the scouts are back inside Hera's base. And manages to shoo away Hera's force for a temporary, short, brief period of time. I don't think that army there from Margougou can take Hera's army. What are you guys doing? Why are you just hanging out? Okay, I mean, it's a nice forest, you know. What are these, palm trees? Who wouldn't like to hang around a bunch of palm trees on a beach somewhere? But you're playing Age of Empires, guys. Run away, attack something. Donjon should be able to shoo away some of these units. And finally, Margougou is going up to castle. Wow. Hera here with the micro. Hera here with the mind games, getting up to castle minutes and minutes ahead of his opponent, which, of course, as the Lithuanian, gives you I was trying to click it to, you know, for dramatic effect to say gives you monasteries, and as the Lithuanian you need 4 relics badly. You want your heavy cavalry units, you want your late shy if you're going to build them to have that plus 4 attack if you can get them. He is going heavy into knights, 10 of them. So the second he gets his first relic, even without any kind of attack upgrades, these knights are going to become even more and more powerful. More blue dots streaming across the map, and now we've got our monk out. Is he going into a supporting role? Is he going to gather relics? We'll keep an eye out on the relic count. For now, it's a massive 0-0. And you tell me, guys, did Hera use his castle age timing well? I mean, Margougou very much ahead in villager count. Army supply is equal. Although knights to spearmen, we know who wins that. Donjon's going down, or rather going up as well. No villagers on stone yet for Margougou. Oh god, these villagers are all exposed. You have to run away, demolish your own house. Brilliant play here. But running away to where? This is a long trek. It is a long way to Tipperary for these villagers. And luckily these knights are badly damaged, because otherwise they could very easily take this fight. We've got our first relic here for Hera. Sorry. So take a look at the knights. +1 attack, even though at the top right he does not have a single attack upgrade. That's the beauty of the Lithuanian heavy cavalry units. But now we've got Sicilian pike. They will be able to shoo this force away. Take a look at the HP. It's basically a what? 40% of what it should be, although there are more knights in the back. Hera just being so annoying, poking and prodding, running away. Let's see if he decides to heal these very badly damaged units. These knights also sitting at half HP. Hera doing what he can here, although kill count very much in favor of Margougou, who has killed 9 villagers. Hera has also killed 9 villagers. So again, I ask you, dear viewer, do you think Hera used his time advantage here well? He's down on kills. He's down on civilian kills. Villager count, red is still ahead, and now has monks out of his own for some reason going... there's no relics there, okay. And let's take a look at Hera's vision. I want to see how many relics he's seen. He has not seen this one. Barely has seen this one. The third one here. And that basically leaves, what, 1 more, which I think he already collected. So he's sitting at 2 relics, +2 attack on these knights for free. You love to see it. But now, Margougou has his own knights out. 48 villagers is enough for him to invest in wheelbarrow. He believes he is safe at home, but in come the Lithuanian cavalry archers. They will run circles around these pikemen for days, but have to respect the monks. You have to run away. I mean, you can try to go in for a snipe, but with that many pikemen here in your way, not sure you'll be able to accomplish. Okay, Margougou throwing away some units here. Not a terrible idea to keep a... You know, you do not want to lose track of where an opponent like Hera is. Oh, it does lose a monk, does Margougou. Not a bad idea. You know, you've got some knights. They are tanky. They will take enough damage that they can scout and survive at the same time. Hera desperately looking for more relics. If only he knew how close he was. Oh, goes northwest instead of southwest. Will miss the relic for now, but don't worry, guys. Relic protected by a couple of zebras and an ostrich. No army in Age of Empires is capable of destroying that kind of natural predatory force, but in comes Hera. Says, you know what? Civilian kills are the same. I'm going to try to change that, although brutally missing any villager here to the south, also exploring. Sees that the majority of his opponent's army is in the south, so decides to peek in, or rather sneak in through the north. Although with these spotting houses, his opponent will see him almost immediately. For a 9th or 10th or 11th or 15th time, this gold has to be evacuated. I think our red Sicilian would do well to maybe try to house this here if the attacks keep coming from that direction. Although he has snuck his own knights into the back of Hera's base. For some reason, again, just hanging out and doing nothing. And now has to retreat, but has to... Oh my god. Oh, these knights, these scout cav, they have to retreat through a line of knights and a monk, but doesn't lose a single one. Okay, not terrible play here by Margougou. Cavalry archers moving 1.54, knights 1.49. In theory, these cavalry archers will never be caught by the Sicilian knights unless they stop to fire. Army supply surprisingly similar here, although 12 pike against 14 cavalry archers is really the difference here. Both players sitting at 50 knights, and in that kind of altercation, I would take the cavalry archers over the pikes any day of the week, especially if these cavalry archers just keep picking off straggler units here. What are we building? A market. I hope this is part of a bigger wall off here for a red Sicilian who is making his way through the south of the map. I don't know why I'm whispering. Very, very sneaky here. Hera has very little vision, with the exception of this one monk who for some reason is hanging out at the edge of the world. And now he retreats, but Hera's vision. Hera might not be paying too much attention to this part of the screen. He is microing his cav archers to the north of Margougou's base, runs face first into a bunch of pike, will lose 3 knights and a monk. That is a great catch here for Margougou. What are you? You are a knight. And yet again, the gold has to be evacuated, but what is this, 6 knights? Yeah, 6 knights should be enough to at least shoo this away temporarily. Monk takes on 4 pikes. The pikes say, F you, we are not going to let you convert us. But this is a lot of knights from Hera. Okay, the relic is gone. The question is who took it. Answered immediately. So Hera, +1 attack upgrade, +3. So these knights should be +4 in a second. Take a look at the bottom left of your screen. +4. My goodness, Hera needs 1 more relic. Has he seen the last 2? Yeah, he's seen this one. A monk slowly making his way over. Oh, unfortunately, red pulls his pikes at the exact worst moment. Lets the monk get this relic, and now you've got a Lithuanian who maxed out his civilization features / bonus, whatever you want to call it, characteristic, but 2 donjons will have something to say, as will a fully garrisoned town center. These cav archers need to retreat. They are weak. Their pierce armor is shite. But we'll see in a second once we have +4. Okay. Scout cav with 2 kills just hanging out to the south while his bigger, stronger cousins raid the hell out of Margougou. My god. Hera's villager kills now more than Margougou's, 25 to 16. He is everywhere. This is the problem with static defense. If your opponent has heavy, fast units like knights, they can just run around the static defense. I mean, it's not as scary as you might think. Hera is investing, or has invested significantly in upgrading his knights' pierce armor, so they are now at a 4. Oh, does get a convert, does Margougou, but maybe don't maybe don't take gratuitous damage for no reason. Margougou doing a fantastic job of trying to bait Hera into these pike. How many kills do they have? Only 4. But he's doing a fantastic job. Hera has to be incredibly careful. I think if Margougou were to send some kind of force now to Hera's base, Hera's micro would be put to the test in a serious, significant way. Oh, we got a bit of a traffic jam here. Knights clogging up the way for the pikemen, or pikemen clogging up the way for the knights. I'll let you decide which one is which. Finally, more town centers being built for our Sicilian. Look how fast this builds. Look at that insanity. 100% in what, 5 seconds? But a 3rd town center going up for our Lithuanian player, and a very defensive castle. He does not want to have done to his gold what he's been doing to Margougou's gold this whole game, basically. We'll see if these knights stop the Lithuanian construction workers from getting this town center up. The answer is no. It is already at basically 100%. Now the knights have to retreat. you know your opponent's going to come looking for you. Where are all his pike? How many pike does he have now? Only 10. Okay, so his pike count has been reduced. My god, look at the HP on these guys. They're half HP. Hera has 4 monks, has completely healed all of his knights. I am very worried here for Margougou. The numbers are very similar. 21 Lithuanian knights, 21 Sicilian knights. Okay, this might even the field here. Why the hell are Red's units not attacking? Okay, 2 monks trying to make a difference here. I am very worried for Margougou. Oh god, gets caught out by 4 monks. Loses 1 knight with half HP. But I mean, again, worried here. Numbers very similar. But take a look at the HP on his knights. Basically at half, maybe 60%. And now Hera's moving in. Hera says, you know what? Enough of the backstabs. Take that gold pile in the back. I'm just going to brute force my way in. Margougou sees exactly that. Margougou says, there's no chance in hell that I can fight this many knights. 2100 HP of knights with my measly 1000 HP of knights, backed up by 4 monks and 1 cavalry archer. Very optimistic. Not too sure. I mean, yeah, okay, they were killing opposing knights here, but look, they're right in the process of turning around. So Margougou saw that. Margougou knows that any minute now, 11 cavalry archers are going to show up. These donjons are nice, but they only have 1500 HP. So they can easily be taken down by this many knights. Or alternatively, these knights can just run amok. Margougou's got nothing left. Hera played this perfectly. What a fantastic game here out of both players. I mean, Margougou doing his best to get Hera to basically do what happened here. Let's take a look at the anatomy of that fight again. Okay, so not for any particular reason. Margougou is raiding to the north here with 2 incredibly weak knights. He's about to enter stage left with 3 full health knights. These guys, these 15 are heading home, but take a look at the bottom of your screen. Take a look at that HP. What is this, 65, 70% HP? They are down 750 HP. Hera's knights, on the other hand, perfectly healthy. Why? Because the Lithuanian collected the relics. To do that, he needed monks. Plus, by the way, these guys attack on a +5. I mean, Hera could have researched one more upgrade, making it a +6, but do you really need to at this point? So Hera's moving forward with a game-ending force of 21 knights and 4 monks in case his opponent tries to do anything cheeky. At the same time, Margougou very much invested 5 of his knights into some kind of counter-aggression here, desperately trying to kill villagers, although finally does take the villager kill lead. And let's see what happens here. We're going to do it at half speed. The pike move forward. Hera does not notice. Half of these pikemen are doing nothing. Immediately retreats. Would he have been better off leaving these pikemen to at least tank for a little bit? Okay, monk. Not getting a convert. Second monk does get a convert, but my god, or rather, did he? No, I don't think he did. I think this is one of, sorry, guys. Let's see that again. No, he did convert this knight, who immediately gets pounced on by his former friends to say, you know what, you're a traitor. Okay, so Margougou, mission accomplished here. You know what, I take it back. The pikemen should have retreated. I don't know if they should have retreated this far, but mission accomplished for Margougou. He delays this attack. HP down 150 for Hera. Delays the attack long enough for his knights to come, but... oh, I see they managed to get a kill on a monk. The problem for Margougou is that his pathing to get to the field of battle ran straight into 4 monks of Hera's. Hera, insane levels of micro. I mean, how many of us would have just highlighted these and right-clicked on a knight? So bad direction for these knights to go. They get ambushed here by these 4 monks. At the same time, Margougou is slowly losing his offensive abilities at Hera's base. Does manage to get one more kill or no more kills. In any event, these these cav archers are decimating these knights. Margougou's reinforcements are slowly making their way, but they get waylaid by these monks. Does manage to shoo away. This is the important part. Does manage to shoo away Hera's army here. And let's take a look at it all on one screen. Oh, the knights turn around, go. First of all, they lose one. Margougou loses a knight. Now they have to go all the way around. Margougou losing a few too many units here. Pikemen retreating again, leaving the monk exposed. Donjons firing arrows. But again, now Hera is again perched on the doorstep of his opponent. These knights, okay, they're taking the even longer way around. More reinforcement, or these possibly the two knights that were here before will get gunned down. Margougou knows that. Hera sees that there's no reinforcements coming, knows that the red knights are very far away. Only now, take a look, peeking into the bottom of our screen, decides to just engage here. Why the hell not? You've got knights attacking on a 15. Takes the fight, and Margougou says, you know what? Too much. Even though these donjons, remember, starting in Castle Age, do shoot multiple arrows, even when they're ungarrisoned, not enough to take on these knights with 4 pierce armor. You've lost all of your offensive capability here. And now, again, 11 cavalry archers are going to make their way to your base. You are not going to accomplish anything with these knights. One of them is basically on death's door. One, swipe of a sword. 1, 2, 3, 4 other ones are at below half health. One is, about half health. So this is not really a fighting force here. These guys are battered. They are bruised. They are damaged. Hera, on the other hand, still at above 2,000 HP of knights. So Hera here taking a massive engage in the front of his opponent's base, says, you know what? You built 2 donjons. You think you're safe? LOL, my friend. I am just going to shove in, and any reinforcements that you try to send, my monks are here, and soon my cav archers are going to be here. Hera also sending villagers out to this side. Not too sure if this is for resource gathering. Not too sure if this is for... he's seen the gold, so not too sure what the villagers are there for. Maybe to start building outposts. Maybe to build a proxy base. But overall, Hera just making it to Castle Age very much ahead of his opponent, and then just snowballing out of control with that time advantage, with that Lithuanian +4 attack from the 4 relics that he has. Let's take a look at the numbers. Knight count, look at that. Knight count is basically similar, but because of the way he used his knights, because of the monks healing them up, which Margougou did not have going for him, which is why, again, I'm harping on this, a 9th time, but still half HP basically for these knights. Hera is able to snowball over his opponent. My God, peak APM 226. Margougou at a bit of a more relaxed pace in the middle of the game with 140. Let's take a look at kill count. Surprisingly similar. Hera here with basically 7 more kills than his opponent, although 2 fewer villager kills. Let's see if the relic gold made any difference here. 1,200 gold. Yeah, take a look at this. 5,000 to 8,000. You've outmined your opponent significantly. Stone both had enough for castles. Food basically identical. Wood a little bit more in favor of Hera. Nothing to write home about, but the gold is really where it's at. And my God, even though, again, he only used that gold to build, 5 more knights than his opponent, a lot more monks. How many monks in total? 4. And let's not forget these guys who are going to enter into the battle any second, whether with a full frontal to support the knights, or possibly for an umpteenth time trying to dislodge this gold. And take a look at the villager supply, villager count. Margougou was just not able to get his economy up. He was not able to get his villager count up. Hera with the endless aggression from Feudal with that massive skirmishers, putting on the pressure on Margougou, keeping him on his toes while his base was completely safe. His base was completely free from raiding, at least at that part of the game. Afterwards, I think Margougou managed to get a bunch of villagers. But overall, Hera dictating the pace of the game, stopping all incursions, building a bunch of fast ranged units to poke and prod at his opponent, constantly making sure he cannot mine his secondary gold, primary gold not mined out yet. And Hera, fantastic play. But again, Margougou, I really love how he was trying to set up little traps with the pikemen, trying to entice Hera, trying to hope that Hera's micro was for one brief second, you know, falling behind. But if you've ever seen Hera, if you've ever seen the way Hera micros, again, I always tell people, go to ACCM's YouTube channel, the player ACCM. Take a look. I think if it's still up, he has a video of Hera, and the way he switches from one screen to another is just bonkers. It's so fast. So Hera, you really need to catch him on an off day. You really need to catch him slacking. Otherwise, his micro is on point. But nonetheless, big ups to Margougou, who tried to trap his opponent, tried to exchange knights for pike, which is never a bad exchange. But overall, Hera builds the bigger settlement, the bigger economy, swarms over his opponent with +5 knights, takes the W, and GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.